you've left SaaS and now you've started Biotech. What was that moment like, and how did that feel to step into something that was completely, but also, of course, very personal for you as well?
I'll get a little philosophical for a minute, but I think it was the right time for me. So I had had several successes, and once you have those successes, building at the very early stages is brutal. It's exhausting. It's a lot of hours. It's a lot of building things from scratch, implementing new tools, implementing a CRM, all those things that I would now dread, but kind of somewhat enjoyed somehow back in the day. And I maybe didn't have the same feeling of I wanted to prove something, didn't have honestly, the same drive to do again, like take the next, chief revenue officer role and in the next, AI startup. And so I was kind of taking a step back and thinking a little bit more philosophically about my career with my life, what would give me more fulfillment and more purpose. And then around that time is when my son was diagnosed with CMT1A. And so it kind of fell in my lap. So it still wasn't an easy decision, but it did feel like kind of the right time. And I think if all that had happened, before I had a few wins under my belt, it would have been harder.
That's fascinating. Like, going from tech to biotech and focused on rare disease is quite the switch. One is so research driven and different types of orgs you interface with. So I'm just curious what that was like, just, initially peeling back the onion and making that transition.
When I left Typeform for Notion, people were like, I was GM US, I was VP of Sales and CS at Typeform, and I was joining this 13-person company that nobody had ever used their product. And when people started playing around with it, it's not super obvious right away. And they're like, you're joining another Evertree? Yeah. Not Evertree.
Evernote.
Evergreen. Or what is it?
Evernote, I think.
Yeah. Long gone since Notion got here.
Yeah.
Evergreen, clearly.
So they thought I was crazy. And same. So when my son was diagnosed, my initial reaction was, I looked at master's and PhD programs to learn about the science. And then I also thought, well, maybe I start my own biotech. And people were like, no, that's not the way you're going to move the needle. You have a business skill set, use that. And I joined the board of the largest nonprofit in the CMT space called the CMTA, which I'm very proud to be part of and grateful for the opportunity to serve on that board. And I initially thought that would be my contribution, as a board member. And then, again, we can talk about it more, but it was through that lens of being a board member. And also I did end up studying the science through online courses mainly and reading medical publications. But it was those two lenses that gave me the conviction to start the biotech that I started, Sharktooth.